Hello everyone, and welcome back to Endzone, A World Apart. Now you join us in what is a critical point for our settlement. We really need to sort out a few issues that are becoming more dominant than they really should be. We're going to start by demolishing all of these recyclers, and we're going to have to take a few risks to make sure that we can come out of this period of overgrowth where everything has kind of gone a little bit haywire. We need to double down on all of our neck scarf production just to really churn out some tools and things and get everyone back up to a decent amount of protection. Things are slowly starting to go wrong all over the place. As you can see, we've got unhappy settlers, unhealthy settlers, sick settlers, no protective clothing, food and contamination is rife throughout the settlement. There has been a little update, and now we've got this really handy guide for whether our population is growing, constant or declining. If that happens, we're in a little bit of a bad situation. I've also read that apparently the way that the game's currently built, it's quite difficult to recover from a crash in your population. So, like I said, critical time at the moment. I'm going to set 3 of my shelters to only allow old and infertile people. So that should help us kind of recover from this. It does create a slight homeless problem, but I am anticipating some deaths coming in, and hopefully they'll all move into these cabins and start reproducing. Next up, I'm probably going to have to stop production on the expedition station, and a few other things are going to need to go by the wayside as well. The irrigation plant I was going to build, we're not building that anymore. We're also going to switch off the other one to save water, and I think that means we run out of the need for the irrigators. Also, that water point seems to be sucking more water than it's actually helping us out with, so we're going to demolish that as well. And the last thing I want to do is only prioritize neck scarves, go into my settlers, and only scrap tools. We're then going to rely on traders to bring us in some other things. So we want this one to come first so that we get some iodine tablets. I don't think we've got any. Oh yeah, we have. We've still got quite a few, so let's not do that. We'll bring in this one to buy some neck scarves. So while we're setting up here, the last thing I'm going to do is pause my research and actually, yeah, I want to get the loitering ban. No, not the loitering ban. The advanced school. That's what I want to research. So we'll get that started, and then we need to destroy this temporary storage and destroy the other one. Pool all of our resources back into the marketplace, and that's going to make things a little bit difficult in the meantime, but once everything's pooled in there, we'll be in a much better position. The cemetery is going to have its hands full, so we're going to try and get all of the dead bodies that we've currently got cleared away as quickly as possible. And finally, before we actually kick things off, we're going to pull out that Forester's Lodge. We don't need it anymore. And then just rejig some of our professions. So we want max water carriers. We're going to put in a load of builders to get the demolition work started, and the extra well keeper. And then we'll get farmers put on like a 50% spread, so half of our capacity of farmers. I think that works. We'll drop our researchers. Actually, no, we'll keep our researchers. We'll drop our scouts and teachers. We've got 2 of them. Put them all into logisticians because we'll need them soon. And then we'll prioritize building buildings to get these removed as quickly as possible. Get rid of all of the stuff that we've marked for deconstruction. So watch for the deaths. Here we go. Right, load of issues instantly cropping up. A load of deaths. These are being demolished in good time though. And look at that. That population is plummeting. When's our next trader due? Soon. And as you can see, the contaminated settlers are going down. That's either because they're dying or being cured by those iodine tablets, I suppose. Hopefully the latter. This is the issue we need to solve as soon as possible. Once we get everyone back in some protective clothing, we'll be able to address all the other issues. Iodine tablets coming in from the traders, so yeah. I am hoping that we don't drop below like 100 population. If we do, that's going to be emergency stations. And we'll need to like get out of that as quick as possible. Other than that, it's just a case of trying our best to ride this out. So we've got a lot of kids, about like 160 population at the moment still, so that's good. Food is not too bad. Water is stabilizing and increasing, but we need to solve the food issue as quickly as possible. I think another fishing hut is probably a good idea. So we'll put that there where the original one was. Once that's in place, we'll have a few more fishermen as well. And of course, as people are dying... oh, here's the trader. Great. Let's have next calves. Great, 40. What can we give you? Some scrap tools and some metal tools? We'll go with metal tools. We haven't got a lot, so I guess we'll balance it out with scrap tools, which we do have a lot of. Maybe we can get some medicine off them as well? No, I don't think so. Right, let's just do that. Close that. There we go. 40 lots of protective clothing coming in. All the while we're still getting some like activated carbon masks coming in, so it might be a good idea to just have one tailor work on them. Oh, there we go. Just completed the quest as well. I think that was to do with giving kids scrap tools and neck scarves or something. Things are slowly being solved. We're at 169 population. Food again, slow burner. It is slowly rising, but as it's coming in, it's going out, so we kind of need to sort out the deficit. It looks like we've got settlers going to chop trees down to build stuff when they could be going to get stuff from the Forester's Lodge that's tapped out on resources. It must be because of the proximity, I guess. But hopefully that'll start moving over to the marketplace soon and we'll sort that out. We've still got the protective clothing shortage, we've still got contaminated settlers. We run out of it. We've run out of iodine pills, so we'll swap to this one. We'll get some iodine tablets in. Bus rack's empty as it should be, which is good. That means all of the stuff out of there has been removed. Getting a fair bit of radiation protection coming in. A little bit of an issue coming up though with no rain for the next 3 seasons, so that could plummet water and food again. As soon as we get this fishing hut built, that should stabilise. The charcoal kilns, we can probably divert some people from the burners to other professions, and we'll put another well keeper in, and that's probably going to be key moving forward. Oh, man, this is a tough one. Right, let's see what our morticians are doing. We'll shift them over to that area. Our graves are full, but I think what happens is after a while they'll get cremated and the capacity drops down again. I don't want to build another graveyard because there's no need to, and once we stabilise things, we should be okay. You know, we'll have like them coming in, getting the protective clothing off them, which will help that out. So yeah, I think we've got some activated charcoal masks in stock. They're ready to go, so yeah, great. Get some iodine tablets. They don't have any, but they've got carbon masks, which is pretty helpful. We'll swap them some plastic, I suppose, because we're not using that at the moment. Can they give us anything else? No, doesn't look like so, because we can't make the iodine tablets until we unlock the research level on it. Could potentially get some decontamination kits. Guess not. More coal? No, don't need that either. We'll just reduce the amount of plastic we're giving them. There's no sense in over trading if we can't actually get anything to benefit us. That brings us some masks in then, which is gonna help us. We could actually remove the limitation on that so that people start getting more protective clothing. We're churning out a fair bit of cloth, but it's not enough to keep the tailor shops running consistently because they're not running at full capacity. They don't have enough workers to actually outgrow that. And we're back on the water shortage, probably due to a lack of water carriers from excess deaths and stuff. Our fishing hut is now up and running, and I'm going to drop down to 1 builder and a few more water carriers, and that should be okay. I know we don't really have anything building, but we'll deal with that. We'll swap our traders back over again, I think, maybe? No, actually, the protective clothing's kind of almost resolved, so we'll stick with the other one and get those iodine tablets in. Because once we get the protective clothing, nobody will be getting contaminated. Our population hasn't dropped down much more, so that's fine. Some graves have freed up, get some more morticians in, and then we'll get some decontamination kits produced and some coal for this. We've got 4 decontaminators in at the moment, so that's fine. They need water and coal to make those kits, so they're pretty slow to produce them, which is a bit of an issue, but I think that's because of the distance that they need to travel to get things. At the moment, things are running a little bit inefficiently and things are being stored in the wrong places. I need to sort that out soon. Water's kind of balancing out again. Our population's growing, which is fantastic. That's what I want, because if we can continue growing as people are dying, we should be okay, but we need to be careful not to grow too quick, because that's how we ended up in this issue in the first place. Almost sorted the protective clothing, and if this trader brings us some activated carbon masks in, that'll solve it completely. We've got some really ill settlers and a lot of very poor health settlers that we need to sort out. Here comes our trader. Got some iodine tablets, great, that's all I need from you right now, and you can have some more plastic in return. Fantastic. So when that trader leaves, we'll bring in the one that gives us the scarves, and that should help us out. So now it's the health issue. We get our herbalist working overtime, and it's probably a good idea to build another one, and I guess we'll build it on the left side of the settlement. And that forester's lodge there has a backlog of wood that isn't being moved through the settlement, and that's simply because of the way that I've set this up. We basically need everything to be moved a little bit closer together, so the potential issue with expanding and moving the industry all to one side of the settlement has become an issue. We do have 280 in stock. Barter deal is closed, and slowly protective clothing issues are a thing of the past, and the contamination levels are dropping. We just need to sort the health issue out. Oh man, this is tough. Medical facilities not really producing enough medicine, so we can drop a couple of researchers and get medics back in. We'll stop producing medicine at a quicker rate. We can do with a few more herbalists, so we'll bulk that out. And food issues just about sorted, radiation levels dropping, and we're on our way with sorting out the health issues. Our population is at about 159. Oh wow, that is a surprise, actually. I'm quite surprised that we've managed to get ourselves out of this. Tools, we've got a shortage of tools now. Make sure that they can use metal tools as well, and that should solve itself. Great. Decontamination post done, sorted, that quest is done. Boost to the health, slowly going back up. Okay, so what, 10 minutes, 13 minutes in? I can't believe it. That was a surprise. I thought this was going to be more intense than it was. We may run into a trouble coming into this drought, so we're going to have some thirsty settlers coming out of it. Here comes the trader again. I'm just going to bring in some neck scarves, hopefully, to top it up, and we'll give them a load of plastic. And hopefully, actually, if they've got medicine, I think if we give a load of plastic, I'm not really sure I want to give food, but we may actually need to give that up. I think it's probably going to be a necessary sacrifice to give away some food right now just to get the health back up, and we can then deal with that issue. I'll just drop it right back down to like right on the level, and hopefully that'll get us through this. A little bit more, almost there. It's like really finicky, but I'm having to be very picky. I think that's it. Fantastic. That gets us medicine and our protective clothing, and then we'll switch our focus to repairing buildings, because we're obviously going to have taken a lot of damage there from the dust storm. Trading posts we're going to need to get repaired as soon as possible. All our scrapyards are full and we don't actually have people moving things around. We need more water carriers. We're going to probably build another well, because I think it's going to be vital that we start pushing them, just to make sure that we have a constant supply of water coming in, even when we're in a drought or period of no rain. We are out of the drought, but we're running out of water. We've got some hungry settlers, some very thirsty settlers as well. We are so close. The end's kind of in sight. Our population's kind of fluctuating because we've now got like starving people, 150, about 140 population. So we just kind of need to get it balanced out. We've got no plastic or mushrooms moved, so we need to get those logisticians moving quick. I definitely think I've messed up in terms of having our industry so far away from the marketplace, and the way that I had those like temporary storage units set up wasn't going well. But it does look like the Forester's Lodge is now working and moving resources through the settlement, which is good. They want us to create some more protective clothing, so we'll just make sure we're producing activated carbon mass, get the other tailor producing them as well, and we'll actually get 27 new activated carbon mass off the completion of the quest. That's almost, oh god, right, okay, the starvation's setting in. Oh my word. It's so dropping very fast now. I mean, there's not a lot we can do, to be honest. We're in a bit of a difficult position. We need the trade done. It might be best that we drop... I'm going to need that mortician. The morticians... We'll drop the charcoal burners because we're full on charcoal pretty much. We're probably good for... I guess we could drop some of the herbalists. Tools are okay. We'll drop some technicians and cease production on all the charcoal kilns for a little bit, and a couple of our workshops. So that we... I don't know, we've got... Yeah, we'll just cease production on those things. Just have the two on the go. The foresters, we can drop those for a little bit actually. We'll leave one up and running and we'll end the production on another one. We'll resume production on that one, keep that up and running, get another wellkeeper in place. Right, 10 unassigned settlers, and we'll put them back into food and water. Keep the gallery, keep that. We can probably drop a herder, put them back into water carrying. Fishers, we're gonna need, we'll drop the hunters, we'll close down the hunting lodge for a little bit, put them all into fishing. Could probably run the scrap collectors down a touch as well. One more fisherman, one more water carrier. Oh, we'll need medics and morticians if we're going to be able to make it through this, so we'll take a couple over there. 2 medics, 2 morticians, and hopefully that's going to stop the rot. Wow, a lot of moving around here, and it's annoying because people are dying as I'm moving around, so I'm losing stuff all over the place. Oh man, right, we've still got logisticians, they haven't died. Yes, good. Come on guys, get a move on. The annoying thing about it is there's protective clothing right there with that trader, and if they could just hurry up and drop this stuff off. That's an issue. Like, the gatherer his cabin is there where stuff is stored, so they need to go to get the mushrooms, drop them off before we can even finish this trade deal, because we're not moving stuff through the settlement efficiently. Oh, all the while the issue's continuing, we've dropped below 100, so we are in a lot of trouble now. That's it. Protective clothing finished without even finishing that trade. Now that we've finished the task. Okay, so everybody's now got access to protective clothing. We'll have a little bit of a stock in place once they finish picking it up. I don't know where it's going to go. It normally goes into the traders and stays there, and then I think it gets distributed to the marketplace. We're not going to complete that quest, I'm telling you now, and let's get this barter deal finished. Get that gatherer's cabin, hurry up, dropped off. We'll be set for protective clothing, everyone will be fed. We've got a contamination level kind of coming down. Should hopefully, once that's done, Why do they loop around that way? Is that because the entrance to the trading post is on that? That's so annoying. They should just be able to enter from whatever way they want. That's a bad pathing issue on my part, I agree, but it's completely frustrating as well. Population 96. Food is now on the increase. Water's on the increase. We might have just made it out of this without going into absolute chaos. I'm going to call in this trader one more time so they get some iodine tablets, and we might be able to focus, finally, on a bigger recovery. So, before I end the episode, I want to make sure all of these alerts are gone. So, we'll get that contaminated settler cured. So, we need to redesign the farming areas because they're not working efficiently. And then it's going to be a case of solidifying things. And I think it's probably going to be an idea that while we're at a low population, we actually just rejig a few things in terms of food, get rid of some cabins. Can we actually just deactivate them? No, we can't deactivate. Okay, so get rid of some cabins just to slow down the reproduction rate, because that's where the problem was. I built too many cabins and it kind of made it's caused this disaster. Maybe we move some cabins to the industrial areas so that people are closer to their place of work and just find a way to make things work a bit more efficiently. We'll put in some like decorative stuff so that the attractiveness level doesn't drop too much. Other than that, I'm amazed we've managed to survive this. Our population total is now 103. We've lost in total probably about 50% of our population. Health is increasing and radiation is decreasing. We don't have as many contaminated settlers as we once had. We've still got a lot of dead bodies that we need to clear up because, well, you know, that'll be an issue. You know, there, oh god, right, they want me to build a mine and an ammunition factory and a watchtower. That's not happening. Not at this moment in time. Like, I wanted to focus on raiders, but this has been such a long drawn out process that we can't do it. But we do need, because the more they come, the more they ask for, and that could actually be more deadly than things going to pot like they've done here. Here's our trader with iodine tablets. We're going to buy a fair few of them and give them the last of our plastic in return, and just make sure that we are good for iodine tablets. And we've already set our recycler refinery back to gathering some more resources. And we'll just make sure that that trader always comes to us for a little bit so we can continue bringing in iodine tablets. We're going to have to get expeditions back up. That trader also has gas mask, which is very useful. And I'm just going to wait for this contamination level to drop to 0 so that we've got a clear notification bar. As soon as that plastic gets dropped off, we should be fine. And it might well be, once we shift some cabins out and give them a closer proximity to their workplace, maybe set up a proper warehouse somewhere, we'll have things running more efficiently. He says, the first time I tried it didn't work. There we go. Barter deal closed. Hopefully that's going to leave us with plenty of iodine tablets for people to take when they need and bring that radiation down to 0. 110 population, and we're starting to increase again. So next time we'll redevelop our farming area. Apart from that though, I am amazed that we've managed to survive this. That could have been an absolute wipeout. I didn't end up building that well either. Let's have a quick check and repaired buildings. Yeah, they're okay. You just need to move some stuff from that forester's lodge that's still tapped out and completely full of stuff. This one's paused. Everybody is fine. Happiness in Rustfield once again. Wow, very surprised. Anyway, I just want to thank you all again one more time for watching. That was a stress. I hope I didn't stress you out too much. Hopefully now that we're out of the woods, we've cleared our decks, we can start building again and aim to increase our population at a more balanced rate. I'm actually probably going to set a goal for this series about 500 to 1,000. And depending on how much I'm enjoying it, how much you're enjoying it, probably time to set an ending for this series. And I may come back and do like a hard mode playthrough at some point. Or we might switch and do some of the scenarios, I don't know. Other than that though, thank you guys for watching. Drop me a like and a subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.